coming up on LA This Week.
We are, again, encouraging folks to work closely with their landlords. Let the landlords know what's going on, what their issues are, what their concerns are.
Today we're feeding seniors. So currently we're doing 8,000 meals a week, and logistically it's a challenge, but we make do.
I have some chapstick.
Very good.
I have some treats.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Hall Brown. Here's what's happening in LA this week. Channel 35 and the City of LA are here to keep you up to date on the latest developments on coronavirus. Mayor Eric Garcetti is holding briefings with the latest information for all Angelenos. Video streams are available at lacityview.org/live, as well as facebook.com/mayorofla. On the internet, the best resources are publichealth.lacounty.gov and coronavirus.lacity.org. Stay informed. Sign up for Notify LA to receive emergency alerts. Simply text your zip code to 888-777 to sign up. Find out more at emergency.lacity.org.
Los Angeles County approved a rent assistance program providing up to $1,000 for 3 months to help those struggling during the coronavirus crisis.
Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, Citi, and J.P. Morgan Chase have all agreed to 90-day waiver of payments for those that have been impacted by COVID-19.
It's kind of hard for me. I'm used to working here. I'm a part-time student here, so.
I am happy to government helping people for housing payment. We are in a bad situation right now about COVID-19, but in my case, thanks God, I have my job. I can support my rent, but for other people, they're not working right now. It's really critical, you know.
We work hard, you know. We are struggling for this moment, so just help people, you know, people that really need it.
For many of us here in Los Angeles, life during the COVID-19 outbreak has settled into an uneasy calm. But there is also a looming anxiety about what life will look like on the other side of this pandemic. There are so many questions that no one has answers to right now. I was able to sit down with Councilmember Curran Price of Council District 9 as he provided answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about evictions and renters' rights. Take a look. The eviction moratorium was a welcome relief to a lot of people, but what exactly are renters' rights and what are eviction protections during this COVID-19 crisis? Well, there are a lot of questions, but we have people here that have a lot of answers. I'm delighted to welcome to the studio Curran Price, council member for 9th District here in the city of Los Angeles, and Rushmore Cervantes from the LA Housing and Community Development. Let's get right to it. So, Councilman Price, how is the city of Los Angeles stepping up to bring relief to tenants?
So we know that in LA, for example, about 60% of the citizens rent. 60% are renters. In CD9 and other parts of LA, South LA, that number's probably 80%. So going into this crisis, I think the council was very sensitive to making sure that we have programs and policies in place that help preserve housing. You know, the mayor says we should be staying at home, and we want to make sure that folks have a home to stay in.
Right.
So the council has done a couple of things. One, there was a moratorium on evictions, which was very significant. We don't want people being kicked out during this time of uncertainty. People are getting laid off, uncertain about their medical condition. So we put a freeze on evictions. And then finally, for those tenants who have been unable to pay, we're going to give them about 12 months after the emergency is over to make up those payments. And so we're trying to be flexible, we're trying to be responsible.
Rushmore, exactly who specifically do all these renter protections apply? Everyone across the board?
The moratorium on evictions, as Councilman Price indicated, is across the board. Whether you've lost a job or had a reduction in your wages, whether you've got child care issues because your children are out of school, or you have increased child care expenses, or you're caring for a loved one or yourself that's sick, or maybe even a government issue, there's no evictions that are allowed.
How long are these rental protections in place, Councilman?
It will be in effect through the end of the mayor's stay-at-home initiative. We don't know when that's going to be. You know, initially the thought was it would end about the 15th of May. There's some indication now that it may be longer than that.
And the landlord cannot demand proof of documentation as to why.
Oh, interesting.
That's correct. And then furthermore, the property owner cannot demand that the tenant enter into a repayment agreement. That's not required under the local or the state orders right now.
While there are periods of forbearance, it doesn't mean that rents are going to be eliminated.
The tenants have the ability to pay back the forbearance amount within 12 months.
But we have a new guest with us right now, Silvana Naguib. She's the supervising attorney with the Homelessness Prevention Project.
The primary way that we prevent people from becoming homeless is defending them in evictions or what's known as unlawful detainers. In an ordinary year, between 40,000 and 50,000 evictions are filed in Los Angeles County. That's without a pandemic. That's without, the greatest economic recession of my lifetime. And so this is already a serious issue for Angelenos, especially, poor and working people in Los Angeles where their housing is insecure because they are so rent burdened. There's a huge proportion of people in Los Angeles that pay over 50% of their income to rent.
Silvana, it's so nice to know that there are people like you who are advocating for those who don't necessarily have the wherewithal to be able to advocate for themselves.
If there are questions, if there are concerns, if there's something that is not clear, ask. Now is the time.
Charitable organizations, big and small, have put forth efforts to support and protect essential workers during the current pandemic. One such organization is BAPS Charities. Their volunteers have been working overtime to bring help to the city's helpers.
In this time of crisis, people may not fully understand the sacrifices that are being made.
The state of California approached Dignity Health and Kaiser Permanente to open a hospital to meet the capacity demands in Los Angeles County of coronavirus patients. It's been 2 weeks now that the hospital is open and our intensive care unit is over 70% full.
This hospital is relieving COVID patients from 11 hospitals throughout LA, and they're bringing all of them here so that there is less of a load on those hospitals. And so the workers here, the staff here, like many of the hospitals throughout the city, are also putting themselves at a much higher risk.
We're donating 5,000 pieces of PPE, from surgical masks to gloves, and also 650 hot meals for the medical professionals and staff here at St. Vincent.
We've been very fortunate to have community groups come forward and want to donate both warm, hot meals as well as personal protective equipment. The idea that an exhausted staff can have a hot, healthy meal, because many have come from all across the country, so they live in hotels, and the availability of those meals we're extremely grateful for the generosity and for people thinking about us during this pandemic.
We're right behind the frontline workers that are there, that are helping protect the rest of us and helping serve the community by looking after those that are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Just the spirit of giving and coming together with people, I hope will encourage other people to do the same.
Today we have received a generous donation from our apps in support of our frontliners, giving us PPEs and snacks for all of our frontliners working the COVID-19 response.
We are donating 26,000 surgical masks and 5,000 gloves, also 100 bottles of hand sanitizer and 1,500 packages of snacks to the Emergency Operations Center and the Mayor's Office of LA. BP's Charities is the charitable arm of a social spiritual organization. We have many community-based events such as health initiatives, environmental initiatives, education initiatives, and so we're really there for the community in all aspects.
The assistance we're getting from the private sector is very moving, is very helpful. The PPEs we're getting, they're extremely valuable. So we have N95 masks, people order clothing, they order food, they order all kinds of things, honestly, and there's a place for each one of these items. Keep in mind, 80% of the resources, they're in the private sector. right? So we need this hand-holding, we need this assistance. It will also help us morally. It's really refreshing to see how people respect what we do, they realize what we do, and they help.
I'm currently a senior at UCLA, and when I heard my graduation wasn't going to happen and that senior experience was not there, I felt like I wanted to give back to the community and give back to LA, this living and breathing city that has hosted me for 4 years.
So these items really makes them want to continue to move on. It brings them joy, and it's that benefit that they never expected, but they say thank you.
International Firefighters Day was this week. It was just the occasion that Frontline Foods was looking for to honor and provide meals for our vital first responders.
Today, the Los Angeles Fire Department would like to say they're very appreciative and grateful for the kind and generous donation from the Frontline Foods people for donating lunches today for 56 fire stations to the Los Angeles City Fire Department today.
Our mission was to help restaurants and help the hospitality business, and we figured out by doing that we could raise money and feed the frontline workers, and the frontline workers being doctors and nurses and janitors and teachers and firefighters and police officers and whoever's helping us in this national and global pandemic.
Feels very, very great, feels good to have the community to back you and, give you support just in these difficult times right now.
Supporting other restaurants in the Los Angeles area and helping them stay afloat by helping them do what they do best, is preparing meals and preparing food for us. So again, thank you very much for Frontline Foods and everything they're doing for us, and thank you.
Funding for more Angelino cards has arrived. LADWP will plant a tree with your donation. And there's more training for teaching online. All this up next on City Beat.
Snapchat co-founder Bobby Murphy and his wife have donated a generous $5 million to the Mayor's Fund for Los Angeles. The money will fund an additional 20,000 Angelino cards, the LA City debit cards used for assistance by families with low incomes. This will increase the number of cards for people affected financially by the pandemic to 60,000. Depending on household size, the cards are given in increments of $700, $1,100, or $1,500. City Plants, in partnership with the LADWP, is offering limited free fruit and shade trees through virtual adoptions. Given out on a first-come, first-served basis, the trees are a great way to grow a healthy future for you and the community while adhering to the Safer at Home orders. Visit cityplants.org and learn how you can be part of making LA more environmentally friendly. LAUSD has announced the launch of an expanded effort to help educators become experts in online instructor training. With students learning from home, teachers are looking for the training that will help them become more proficient at engaging students and their families with online learning. Nearly all teachers are taking these steps.
Unite Here Local 11 and USC Hospitality are ramping up free meals for LA seniors. The collaboration is answering the call from Mayor Eric Garcetti to increase the number of meals getting to LA's most vulnerable population.
Last week, Mayor Garcetti announced his partnership with the Hospitality Training Academy and Unite Here Local 11 to start this program called Serving Our Community.
So today we're feeding seniors in a partnership with the city.
Really excited that we got to launch and kick things off here with our partners at USC today.
We're producing 5 different meals for 2 separate deliveries, so the seniors are getting 10 meals a week.
When all these things started, I say, what can I do to help?
it makes me feel very proud, you know.
We want to be part of the community. It feels great to be part of the process to help the most vulnerable.
It's really important for us to be able to help those that are in need. It's the right thing to do.
They have no family, they have no strength to go out, so they have to be safe at home.
As a union, we've always believed in the power of coming together when things get difficult, and so I believe this is one of those instances, right, where we're coming together with our community, with our workers, with our employers, right, with the city to really say we need to step up and someone needs to provide these services, and so it just makes me really proud.
So currently we're doing 8,000 meals a week, and logistically it's a challenge, but we make do.
Hope that other cities and other counties look at LA and make it a model to follow.
At the beginning of the pandemic emergency, LA residents saw an inexplicable run on toilet paper. You remember that. These days, there's a scarcity of items that are actual necessities: face masks and hand sanitizer. But don't worry, because 3 businesses in Boyle Heights have banded together to hook you up for free. Take a look.
Today we're giving back to the community that supported us for over 122 years by giving out 10,000 masks to the general public to help promote safety and health. We're an industrial distributor. We were founded in 1898 by my great-grandfather, and our original location was in downtown Los Angeles on 3rd and Main, and we moved over here in 1964 and been here ever since. We're doing it in partnership with Imprex Fabric, a local company that makes fabric face masks, and Suka Hill Distillery, which makes some of the hand sanitizer that we distribute to our customers.
I'm just helping out my team, you know, giving out all the free masks for the community. That's a team effort. From the guys shipping and receiving, you know, the guys on the back, our, you know, office as well, just promoting the mask and what we're doing today. A lot of people don't have money to go and buy the masks, or they don't know how to get them because all the supplies are going to the hospitals. So actually we're able to, you know, to do that for them, for our community, for free.
Get out the word that wearing a mask in public isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. You know, it might not completely stop COVID, but it'll help slow it down and give our medical workers a little bit of an ease. But in general, we're trying to do a good thing for the community.
Volunteers at the West Valley YMCA did their best to restore some semblance of normality for their members. They celebrated the 30th annual Healthy Kids Day with a goodie bag drive-through.
We've been hosting Healthy Kids Day around the nation for over 25 years, and today it's a little bit different. Obviously, we're shut in, we're not doing the normal regimen of activities and fun, healthy games, but we're still honoring Healthy Kids Day. And so today here at the West Valley YMCA, we're providing a healthy grab bag of items, recipes, games for kids, little items that they can take home and they can actually use and play with. We have some virtual content on our website held this morning. We also have 50 free LA Galaxy soccer jerseys. One of our partners, the LA Galaxy, the LA Kings, and the LA Clippers, are mission partners of the YMCA.
For them to open up their doors and allow us to just drive by, get some special little treats, and just keep our energy and spirits up.
Here to pick up stuff that we can't really find in stores anymore because people are just trying to take all of it for themselves. They're trying to take more that they even need.
The YMCA has always represented family and community for us, even as adults growing up.
6 weeks ago, we had to close the doors of the YMCA. That's just not something that happened, that's ever happened. Certainly in 30 plus years of my career, I never could have imagined this time frame and this day. But you know, we've pivoted, we've looked at different services to help the community. The YMCA stays committed and is strong to our mission. Although we're not open, we will be open one day soon, and we'll go back to doing all the fantastic things we've been known for doing in our community across this nation. But we can't wait to see everybody again.
Thank you, YMCA.
And we love you.
We love you.
Businesses of all types have adapted their equipment and materials and found ways to repurpose them in service of combating COVID-19. From food deliveries to online teaching to manufacturing much-needed personal protective gear. But for places like the North Hollywood Interfaith Food Pantry, the first order of business has always been providing a few extra groceries for anyone in need.
Our food pantry has been serving the community for 37 years.
It began with a group of 5 women from 5 different congregations. The ideal, the hope was that we could eliminate hunger here in the East San Fernando Valley.
Basically, whether it's through the economic recession, or it's going through an earthquake in 1994, or it's going through the homeless crisis, or it's going through a global pandemic, we are here to serve and bridge the gap where social services doesn't meet the streets.
We continue to serve during COVID.
I set up the operation like a drive-through.
We didn't have drive-through before.
The clients are able to get their food without interacting with the volunteers.
Simply you pop the trunk and we'll come around, or put it in the back seat.
All of our employees are washing hands, wearing masks, wearing gloves.
I have a son and a family just like the people that might be in fear of coming here. So my safety is important to me as their safety is to them.
We're serving the community twice a week, Mondays and Fridays.
Half of the food that comes out of this place basically comes from the neighborhoods and the model that we set up. But what's different about the pandemic and why it's more difficult is because the supply is gone now. It was a symbiotic relationship between the neighborhood and the general business locally, but all of that is flattened.
You can donate via our website, nhifp.org.
We're here, we've been here for 37 years, we've never turned anybody away.
Thank you to our awesome new group of volunteers that are enabling us to be the little pantry that can.
Please volunteer. It's a gift that these people are giving us, our clients. We are not giving to them, they are giving to us. They're sharing their lives with us.
Well, it's that time of year where LA City plans its budget for fiscal 2021, but there is no such thing as business as usual these days. Fortunately, I'm joined by Councilman Paul Corian, who is the chair of the Finance and Budget Committee, and he can walk us through how things are going to work this year.
In a city of our size, obviously the budget is an exceptionally complex beast. The biggest revenue sources that the city has are property tax, sales tax, our business tax, and the temporary occupancy tax that comes from hotel stays.
Well, what a difference a year makes. Last year, the city basically celebrated eliminating any kind of structural deficits. It was in a really good, solid fiscal position, great reserve fund, and this is a different realm right now. So what are some of the key changes?
In this unprecedented environment that the country, the world is in because of COVID-19, there's tremendous unpredictability about this budget. I've been budget chair now for 8 years, and even when we were still in the Great Recession, there has never been a time like this where our revenues are so unpredictable, our expenses are so unpredictable, what support we may get or not get from the federal government in terms of stimulus and other things, completely unpredictable. And we usually have a very precise method of predicting revenues based on historical experience.
Sure.
We can just shred all that historical experience and throw it out the window right now because we're in uncharted territories. So the mayor's budget proposal is appropriately extremely conservative. He's projecting revenue growth of less than 2%, whereas in recent years we've been projecting over 5% annual growth. And that makes a great deal of difference in our budget because, as I mentioned, most of our revenue sources are economically sensitive.
Sure.
When there's economic growth, we get a lot more sales tax. Property tax goes up. The businesses have more gross receipts. There's more gross receipts tax. People are traveling, so we get our hotel tax. People are building things, so they're paying permit fees. All of those things happen when there's a vibrant economy. When there's not a vibrant economy, and when we're facing the economic catastrophe that the world is facing right now, all of those revenue sources decline dramatically. If there's any good news in the budget this year, it's that in the time that I've been budget chair for the last 8 years, we have methodically built up the largest reserve fund in the history of the city of Los Angeles. We started the Budget Stabilization Fund under my chairmanship, first time we've ever had one. So those two things taken together give us the ability to ride out downturns in the economy.
Councilman Krikorian, thank you for all you do, and I wish you a world of luck, and I will stay optimistic with you.
Thank you very much.
Take in a theater performance via podcast. See how a local museum ups its online game. Or watch a design festival that makes its virtual debut. All this up next on Virtual Things to Do. LA Theater Works has a plethora of podcasts waiting for you. LATW's audio plays bring you comedies, dramas, classics, and contemporary works, all with top-name writers and performers. This includes the Relativity series of science-themed plays, with lead funding provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world. Be sure to check out the great audio entertainment available from LA Theater Works. Visit latw.org/podcasts. The Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery wants you to stay connected, feel joy, and experience wonder through their new website, LaMag at Home. As part of this new virtual programming, LaMag is creating new content that will be available at lamag.org and across all of their social media platforms. Content includes digital programs with artists from past exhibitions, art-making activities, a series dedicated to LaMag's extensive education archives, artist resources, and more. Check out the LA Municipal Art Gallery's new online offerings at lamag.org. Virtual Design Festival is the world's first online design festival. This virtual extravaganza features a rolling schedule of interviews, movies, product launches, live streams, and collaborations. Over 35 architects and designers from around the world were invited to send self-recorded video messages to share with fellow designers and the world. This collection of videos was edited to a soundtrack by Los Angeles songwriter and musician B.D. Wolf. The Virtual Design Festival is running from the 15th of April to the 30th of June. Visit dezeen.com/VDF. And that's a look at some virtual things to do. Here at Channel 35, we stay committed to bringing you the best information possible during the COVID-19 outbreak. Remember that you can sign up with Notify LA to receive emergency alerts. To sign up, just text your zip code to 888-777. You can also find reliable information about the resources available from the City of Los Angeles at these websites: publichealth.lacounty.gov, coronavirus.lacity.org, or at emergency.lacity.org. That's it for this edition. I'm Maria Hall Brown. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. See you next time for more LA This Week.